Public Works monthly meeting of, this is the meeting of July 11th. And we don't have a connection with the cable station. Hopefully they'll get that going, but we're going to go ahead and start anyway. They'll record it and it can be played later. We have a quorum. Could we have a motion for the approval of the minutes of the last meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Are there any questions or any corrections or concerns? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Items for discussion, consideration, I'm sorry. The City of Evanston's payroll through July 3rd, 2011 is $2,684,653.53. Motion to approve.
I move to approve the payroll through July 3rd.
Second.
Been moved in second. City Evanston's bills through July 12, 2011, $2,606,592.55. Credit card activity, $100,028.78.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Yes.
I'd like to move that a discussion be placed either on the Rules Committee agenda, which might be easier, or on AMPW's agenda regarding credit card expenditures.
Okay.
And I don't mean tools and equipment. I mean some of the other items. I just like to generally go over it.
Marty,
So it's a standing committee. I don't really need a vote, just a notation.
Okay. Yes. Okay. It's been moved and second for the bills to be approved for through July 12th, 2011, and the credit card through May 31st, 2011. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no opposed. I'm not sure that we had a vote on, I know we did a move and a second for the payroll. I'm not sure that we had a vote on it, though.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Just
Didn't we not? Okay, Phil, remind me. Okay, going back to the payroll. It was moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right. A31, approval of the contract award for 2011 50/50 sidewalk and curb replacement program, bid 12-25. Staff recommends City Council approval of a contract in response to bid 12-25 to award the funding year 2011 50/50 sidewalk and curb replacement program to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Schroeder and Schroeder, in the amount of $185,250. Funding for this work will be from the Special Assessment Fund of $200,000, and that's account 6365.65515 and private funds. Based on previous years, we estimate the homeowner's share to be $80,000.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Are there any questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? A3.2, approval of contract award for 2011 alley paving project, bid 12-32. Staff recommends City Council approval of a contract in response to bid 12-32 to award the 2011 alley paving project to the lowest responsible and responsive bidder, A-Lamp Concrete Contractors, in the amount of $391,365. Funding for this work will be from the Special Assessment Fund, which has $232,332.50 from account 6365.65515, and homeowner's share of $159,032.50.
Move approval. Second.
It's been moved and second. Are there any questions? All in favor?
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alderman Rainey.
Perhaps some member of our staff could explain, not having to do with this particular purchase, but what is going on Dodge Avenue? Tonight, of course, with all the complications from traffic lights being out, etc., parts of the road are simply blocked off and have been blocked off for weeks without any visible sign of any work. I saw one guy out today pushing something around, but with no equipment. And I'm just curious, what is the strategy for paving Dodge? Are we paying them by the hour? That's what it looks like.
Mr. Snyder is going to come and respond.
Good. I mean,
Good evening, Madam Chair, committee members, Assistant Manager Lyons, Paul Schneider, City Engineer. Dodge Avenue, actually, the work that's going on there right now is two separate contracts going on. There's a water main contract that had started a little bit earlier in the year. That particular contract is being preceded by A-Lamp contractors. A second contract that has started then is the repaving contract from Oakton up to Lee Street. So it is a very hectic area. With the traffic signals going out due to lack of power, it's made it that much more difficult to navigate. But we're really coordinating two contracts with two contractors through that area.
It's very uncoordinated, and I don't blame city staff. It just appears, I know for the last week, I think for the last week, there hasn't been any work going on there. If there's not any work going on there, and there's not any wet surface, why can't we move those barriers for what? Traffic, at rush hour, it's ridiculous. If there were work going on, it would be very impressive, but there isn't. And it has nothing to do with anything going east-west. It's all north-south.
Yeah.
It's all north-south problem.
Yeah,
and I don't think, Paul, I don't believe your explanation has told me what's really going on, because it looks like nothing's going on.
And that can happen in the course of a job where it doesn't seem quite as busy as other times, especially when the water main goes in. There's a number of tests that have to be run on the water main before it can go into service. So it can give you the appearance that there's very little going on compared to when they're out there excavating, moving earth, laying pipe. So
Human beings are not there. So if you could tell us, I mean, you're telling us what could happen. Mm-hmm. Would you tell us what is happening right now? Not now, obviously you don't know, but tomorrow could you give us some kind of update on what exactly is happening right now?
I can. I believe I will give you an update.
Okay. Mr. Lyons?
That's what I was going to suggest, members of the committee, is that we send it out to the group, and also we could post on the website, just as one of our items on the website, an update and schedule of when will we be paving and where, since there are two contracts running.
Alderman Grover?
Thank you, Madam Chair. While you're there, Mr. Schneider, at our last meeting, we discussed whether Ozinga Concrete, by having a presence in Evanston but being based in Chicago, satisfies the MWEBE goal. And in this case, the contractor, A-Lamp, partially satisfies our MWEBE goal by using Ozinga. Did we resolve the question of whether Ozinga does indeed fit within our program?
Yes, we did provide a correspondence to the council, and the answer was in the affirmative that
Yes,
they complied.
Thank you.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? A3.3, approval of the renewal of the police radio service agreement with Motorola. Staff from the police department recommends authorizing the city manager to renew the annual sole source service agreement with Motorola Incorporated This agreement is effective from July 1, 2011 through June 30th, 2012. The annual cost is $29,758.20. Funding will be provided by the Emergency Telephone System Budget Account 5150.62509. Service agreement contract budget amount is $40,100.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Are there any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? A 3.4, approval of the animal truck vehicle purchase from Wilmette. Staff recommends City Council approval of the purchase of a 2007 Ford F-250 animal control vehicle from the Village of Wilmette at the cost of $19,700. Evanston City Council approval will be forwarded to the Wilmette Village Board for their approval and subsequent sale. Funds will be provided from account 7700.65550 in the Fleet Service Fund. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Are there any questions or comments? Is that you, Alderman?
Yeah.
Green?
Are we still picking up their dead animals?
No, the present time, the only agreement that we have is for the purchase of the vehicle, and we will come back as a part of our budget process looking at insourcing, outsourcing, so that is off the table. The agreement is just for the purchase.
Whose animals do we pick up? Remind us. We pick up other animals. And I
Just our own.
thought we were picking.
Right now, just our own.
Good evening. Deputy Chief Jamrez from the Police Department. The facility, the animal control facility is open to receive animals, but we are not picking up any other animals.
I'm sorry, Alderman Rainey, I misspoke as far as that goes. As a part of the informal deal that we've had while using this vehicle, we have been picking up in Wilmette and in Evanston. And that's what we brought forward was the formalization of that. Now, with the change, with the sale, we will be bringing that back to, if that practice is to continue, we need to bring it back to the council for approval.
But right now, we are picking up their animals.
That is the dead animals, it's my understanding that we are.
The dead animals?
Dead animals.
The last, for the list I have, it ended here on June 20 of 11. So this has been going on since October of 2008. So I believe we had stopped.
Oh, we stopped. Well, okay, so we stopped as of the last meeting when so directed.
Are there any other questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. A4, approval of the 2012 vehicle sticker capitulation design.
I move approval.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to. The staff recommends that the City Council approve the design to be highlighted on the 2012 City of Evanston vehicle sticker. Nonprofit organization logos to be featured on the 2012 city sticker design are the Cradle, the Evanston Day Nursery, Mather Life Ways, Evanston Community Foundation, and the Chessman's Club of the North Shore. A compilation of design of this 2012 city sticker featuring 5 local nonprofit organizations logos was agreed to at the June 27th City Council meetings. And I think there was a copy of it attached.
Page 93.
Yes. Are there any questions, comments? I think it looks very nice.
Fabulous.
Yeah. I think that Alderman, we have to thank Alderman Tennum as well.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
And we do have, for the audience, at the council meeting, if Alderman Tennum wanted to speak to the process, we do have something that we could put up
we
on the
have it here,
screen.
too.
So,
There it is.
I trust him.
so at the appropriate time, if it stays on consent, we could show it anyway. However, you'd like to proceed at council.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, A5, Resolution 41-R-11, Boiler Room Apartment Lease Renewal. Staff recommends City Council approval of Resolution 41-R-11, authorizing the city manager to execute a lease between the City of Evanston and Norma and Nolan Robinson for the apartment located at 1223 Simpson Street for the period August 1, 2011 through July 31st, 2012. The rent will remain at $1,300 per month due on the first day of each month. The current lease expires July 31st, 2011. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? A6, Resolution 42-R-11, accepting planning staff assistance service delivery by the City Metropolitan Agency for Planning. Staff recommends City Council approval of Resolution 42-R-11 to accept planning staff assistance services delivered by the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, CMAP. Resolution 42-R-11 authorizes the city manager to negotiate and execute the memorandum of understanding, including scope of services with CMAP to develop a water efficiency program for the city of Evanston. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions? Alderman Rainey.
Does anybody want to speak to this? I'm not real familiar with this kind of project
All right. Ms. Hurley?
or anything having to do with.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the committee, Assistant City Manager Lyons, Catherine Hurley, Sustainable Programs Coordinator. As you all know, staff continues to look for funding opportunities to implement various elements in our Evanston Climate Action Plan. And one of the opportunities that came up earlier this year was a funding through the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning through their Technical Assistance Grant, where essentially they have received money from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development as part of an interagency partnership for sustainable communities, where basically CMAP works with local communities to help the local communities plan and implement sustainability projects. And as part of their process, CMAP, their research found that many communities were struggling to implement projects partly because they lacked staff time. So the purpose of the grant was to help provide funding in the form of staff time from CMAP staff that could then help local communities to implement projects. So through this competitive process, the staff submitted an application and was awarded along with 64 other communities. The focus of our project will be a water efficiency program that will be developed with support from the CMAP staff. So I will be working with them, but they'll also do a bulk of the work that would have been difficult to do otherwise. Included in the packet was a draft scope that we've been working on with CMAP, as well as a schedule. The idea is that we wouldn't be starting till later this fall with collecting data, majority of the work to be done after the first of the year, and then the idea will be to present a water efficiency program draft back to City Council in the spring of 2012.
Alderman Grover?
Thank you, Ms. Hurley. Can we assign a dollar value to this grant? Is it possible? It's for staffing. What do you think?
That's a great question. I would be happy to work with CMAP to identify the approximate number of hours that they estimate and put a dollar amount on it.
Thank you. That'd be good to know. Don't spend too much time doing that, though.
I'll ask them to do it.
That won't be efficient.
All right. Thank you.
Alderman Rainey?
Catherine, what is water efficiency? Is it preservation? Can you just share some of that?
That's a great question. Usually we demark conservation and efficiency in two different buckets. So conservation is simply using less buckets, right? Efficiency is really about generating more value from the same amount of or less amount of water. So for example, if you were to put an aerator on your faucet that would have less water come out, but you still feel the same amount of water to wash your hands, but it actually is less water, that's efficiency. Not turning the faucet on at all, that would be conservation. So the idea is to find ways for us to get more value with the same or less resource so that we can be not wasteful, but using our resource in a way that maximizes the value from it. So we'll be looking at both low-hanging fruit, really easy to implement measures for both municipal operations as well as the community members, and then we'll also, of course, evaluate some other more aggressive things that we could do, but the idea of the program is to be very easy to implement and something we can do without a lot of resources.
Catherine, how would that affect citizens in terms of, is there any, I want to say, light at the end of the tunnel for residents for costs for water, or maybe
Sure.
sewer, I guess it is.
So in a nutshell, if you use less water, then you could reduce your water bill. So it's a tool, could be a tool for residents. On the other hand, it also can be a way to make sure that we have water that we need for important things. So for example, if you're on a fixed budget and you determine, I wanted to start doing some gardening and I can't afford to be using a lot of extra water, I could be more efficient in my home, so I could also still use water outside and in the end be neutral. So the idea is really reducing waste and increasing the efficiency out of a resource, but not necessarily dramatically reducing the overall use of the resource because we have a limited resource. So,
Anyone else? Alderman Rainey?
One quick comment. I love what you're saying, but the minute people in Evanston reduce their water use, the staff starts talking about raising the rates because we're not, so. But I understand that would be the way to go, to reduce the use.
and can I also add, though, that as a utility that not only serves our own residents but other communities, that there is a limited amount, and so if we're efficient in one bucket, then there's maybe opportunities to fill additional buckets. So part of it is making sure that we all are as efficient as we can be so that there are more buckets to fill.
Okay, it's been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? A 7.1, Resolution -R-11, abating taxes levied for the year 2010. Herefore to levied to pay principal and interest on not to exceed $8,893,960 of general obligation bonds, Series 2010A. Staff recommends City Council's review and adoption of Resolution 43-R-11, which will decrease the amount of the 2010 property tax levy needed to retire the outstanding general obligation debt by $55,979. Is there a motion?
I move approval of
Second.
7.1.
Been moved in second. Are there any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
A 7.2, Resolution 44-R-11, abating taxes levied for year 2010. Heretofore levied to pay principals and interest on not to exceed $9,166,678 of general obligation bonds, Series 2010B. Staff recommends City Council review and adoption of Resolution 44-R-11, which will decrease the amount of the 2010 property tax levy needed to retire the outstanding general obligation debt by $51,978.
Move approval of this.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any questions? Alderman Burth.
I once again just want to say that I don't think we should be putting out more bonds. We have enough debt. Any unabated levies just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me at this time. I mean, what will this put us to on our debt load? Could you talk about that?
This is actually not an issuance of debt. What happened was in both the 2010 A and B bonds, we did not either levy or abate last December for the interest that was being paid from the August date when we issued until the December 1st payment date. Normally, any given levy will have 2 interest payments and 1 principal payment. And because of the timing of our issue, what should have happened was 3 interest payments and 1 principal payment. The first 4 months and then a year's worth of interest, that's what should have been on the levy. And we would have abated the 2010B anyway. So that would have been abated anyway during our levy and abatement process. The 2010A we would have levied for, that was the normal capital bonds, but we have sufficient funds in the debt service fund to just go ahead and abate it. We did not want to in any way have a revised levy. So this is current debt. This is not any new debt. We're just telling the county not to levy.
I think we're talking about, I think you're talking about the, 2010. So you're talking about 2010. I'm talking about the GO bond issue.
Right. We're still on 7-1 and 7-2. So
no, I thought we just voted to approve that we're on A8 GO bond.
No,
I'm sorry. My question's for the next one. I apologize. I was jumping ahead.
and that'll just be for action tonight.
Yes, but, so get ready for your answer for the next one was what I was asking the questions for. Sorry about that.
Okay. It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Oh, that's right.
It's on the council agenda.
Got it. Thank
It's on the
you.
council. It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have no items for discussion.
Sorry about that.
Okay, is there a move for adjournment?
But there's no reason why he can't answer the question because it's on the council agenda.
Oh, okay, well, that's for,
Yes,
I mean,
thanks.
that would help.
Yeah,
if you-
sorry.
And would you like that answer at the council agenda so I can make sure I have the right number?
That would be great.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sorry about that, Marty, for the confusion.
All right, move adjournment.
it's been moved and
He was answering the question. I was just like,
we are adjourned.
and then thank you for pointing out, like, yes, I'm on the wrong.
Who seconded the adjournment?
Oh, I did. sure.
Second?
First.
Sorry about that.
Thank you, Dolores.
You know, I think we did the late ride on Saturday night, which starts at 1 in the morning, and
Yeah.
we get home at like 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's like thrown me off a little bit.
What did you do?
The late ride through downtown Chicago, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
10,000 riders,
Oh, wow. How far did you go?
25 miles. So it's
It's a good ride.
it's fun, you know.
At night?
But
Was it cool?
Did you have lights on your bikes?
yeah, we have flashers,
Yeah.
but there was so much